Hello friends. Today I'm going to tell you two creepy stories from Reddit, where real people share their frightening encounters with ghosts. These stories will make you think about what might be hiding in the dark. If you like such stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like it so that you don't miss new scary stories. Story 1: A ghost in an old house. Hello Reddit. My name is Jen, and I want to share a story that still gives me the creeps. I don't really believe in ghosts, but what happened to me a few years ago made me reconsider my views on the paranormal. A few years ago, my boyfriend and I decided to rent an old house in a small town to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and enjoy a quiet life. The house was built back in the early 1900s and had all this old-fashioned atmosphere with large windows, wooden floors, and creaky stairs. We were both excited about the idea of living in a house with a history, but we didn't expect that the past of this house could really come to life. At first, everything was calm. We enjoyed the new experiences, we were arranging the house and planned to stay there for a long time. But after a couple of weeks, strange things began to happen. At night, I could hear footsteps in the hallway, even though my boyfriend was sleeping next to me. The doors opened and closed on their own, and sometimes in the morning I found things in the wrong places where I left them. But one evening something happened that made us seriously think about moving. We were sitting in the living room watching a movie. It was about midnight when suddenly I felt someone looking at me. I looked towards the door and saw that it was slowly opening. A woman dressed in an antique dress stood on the threshold. It was translucent, and I literally froze in horror. My boyfriend, noticing that something was wrong with me, turned around and saw her too. We were both stunned, not knowing what to do. The ghost stood and looked at us with an expression on her face as if she was unhappy. Then she slowly turned around and went into another room, and the door slammed shut behind her. We couldn't move for a few more minutes, after which we packed up in a panic and left for friends. The next day we returned only to pick up the remaining things and break the lease. We learned from neighbors that a woman who tragically died lived in the house many years ago, and many claimed to have seen her ghost. Since then, I no longer doubt the existence of ghosts. This meeting made me believe that some souls can stay in this world if they have unfinished business, or if they are in unbearable pain. We never went back to that house, but that experience stayed with me forever. Story 2: The ghost in the hotel. Hey guys, my name is Mike, and I want to share with you a story that happened to me a couple of years ago when I went on a business trip. It was an ordinary business visit to another city, and I stayed in one of the old hotels, which was located near the center. The hotel was chic, with ornate interiors, huge chandeliers, and long corridors lit by dim lights. Everything looked stylish, but at the same time there was something disturbing in the air. I didn't think much of it, because I needed to focus on my work. The first night I slept like a log because I was too tired after the flight, but on the second night something strange happened. At about 3 a.m., I was woken up by a strange sound, as if someone was lightly knocking on the door. I decided to ignore it, but the knocking didn't stop. In the end, I got up and went to the door, but when I opened it, I found no one. I went back to bed, but before I could close my eyes, I felt that the room had become cold, and suddenly I saw a dark silhouette appear near the bed. It was barely distinguishable, but I clearly saw that it was the figure of a man standing a few meters away from me. I froze in horror, unable to move. The figure stood motionless, as if watching me. I tried to convince myself that it was just a trick of the light or my fatigue, but something inside me said that it was not so. Suddenly, the figure began to move towards me, and at that moment I felt an unbearable cold, chilling to the bones. I screamed, and it woke up my roommate, who was also on a business trip. He asked what happened, but I couldn't explain what exactly I saw. When we looked around the room, there was no one there, but the cold remained. In the morning, I told the hotel staff about this, and they admitted that many guests had complained about strange phenomena in this room. It was rumored that this hotel was once home to a family who tragically died. It is said that sometimes their ghosts return to remind them of their presence. After this incident, I always try to avoid vintage hotels, even if they look chic. Meeting a ghost is not something I would like to experience again.